Paramedic Services graduation ceremony for call takers, emergency medical dispatchers, and paramedics. My name is Commander Janice Bain, and I have the distinct honor of being named your Master of Ceremonies today. On behalf of Chief Paul Raftis, I would like to extend a warm welcome to each of you today. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of the platform party. It is my pleasure to introduce the leadership of our service represented here today. To my left, in the first row, we have Chief Paul Raftis, Toronto Paramedic Services. Representing Mayor Tory and the City of Toronto, we would like to welcome Deputy City Manager Paul Johnson. Representing Toronto Fire Services, we have Divisional Commander Dave Denisek. And Deputy Chief Pauline Gray, representing Toronto Police Service. We also welcome Dr. Morgan Hillier from Sunnybrook Base Hospital. In the second row, we have Deputy Chiefs Leo Sang, Mike Wyanzek, and Bikram Chawla. From the Canadian Canadian Union of Public Employees, Local 79, we welcome Miss Amy Carnell and Miss Aveline Miller. From Local 416, Mr. Peter Schreier. Thank you all for coming to support our newest members. I would like to acknowledge the management and education staff of Toronto Paramedic Services who are here this afternoon. You can please be seated. I would also like to welcome our graduating class. Please make your way to your seats. Please be seated and welcome. We are here today to witness a momentous occasion, the graduation of the newest group of paramedics to join the rank of Toronto Paramedic Services, dedicating their lives in the service of our community. As a service, we welcome these new colleagues with open arms to the Toronto Paramedic Services family. We would also like to say thank you to the families of our newest members for being their support system, always there for them. Without you, they would not be here today. "190 years ago this month, June 1932, the town of York, later to become Toronto, started a public ambulance service to care for the victims of a cholera outbreak. While today's Toronto Paramedic Services has come a long way since those days, we have never forgotten our public service roots and our goals to protect and improve the quality of life in Toronto by providing superior and compassionate paramedic-based healthcare. This is a very special day for Toronto Paramedic Service as we welcome these exceptional individuals to their new roles as call takers, emergency medical dispatchers, and paramedics. These dedicated people will provide superior and compassionate pre-hospital care to citizens and visitors of Toronto. Each of our graduates today will follow in the footsteps of those who helped pave the course of pre-hospital care as we know it today. Our profession has dramatically changed over the decades, and none more so than the last quarter century. With today's call takers, emergency medical dispatchers, and paramedics performing pre-hospital care skills that were merely dreamed of in the 1970s, the start point of modern paramedicine. Today, our members possess the tools, knowledge, and critical thinking skills to care for patients unmatched by any other time in history. Just as importantly, they also possess an innate quality which drives them to treat these patients with respect, dignity, and compassion, thereby caring for others of a meaningful and profound capacity. I would like to welcome the Chief and Deputy Chief Tsang to come to the stage. Today we celebrate 57 call taker, emergency medical dispatch, and paramedic graduates joining the Toronto Paramedic Services family. As you will soon hear, each of these people are well educated and highly skilled in their chosen career field. With no further delay, we will now welcome our newest members. Our first paramedic graduate is Mohammed Al-Halabi. Thank you, sorry. A graduate of BizTech College, Mohammed was born in Damascus, Syria, and proudly tells us that he is a first-generation Canadian and first responder in his family. Our next paramedic graduate is Vittoria Campewedo, graduate of CTS Canadian Career College. After graduating from the University of Toronto with a bachelor's in honors in kinesiology, Vittoria is a competitive rugby player, playing for the province of Ontario and the U of T Varsity Blues as a team captain. In her free time, she loves to go hiking with her fur babies, 3 dogs and a cat. Our next paramedic graduate is Stefan Chan. Graduating from Loyalist College, Stefan tells us that in his prior life, he was a system administrator. His hobbies include snowboarding, traveling by motorcycle. He is proud to tell us that he is the recipient of the Queen Elizabeth II Jubilee Medal, Golden Jubilee Medal. Our next paramedic graduate is Sondi Clemens. Sondi graduated from Oxford College and previously worked in customer service and management. Sondi has 2 birds, and we are told that Sondi is pretty cool. Our next paramedic graduate is Robin De Los Santos. A graduate of BizTech College, Robin tells us that he is a father of 3 and that he is passionate about paramedicine. Our next paramedic graduate is Ina Demba. A graduate of BizTech College, Ina hails from Russia, immigrating to Canada 12 years ago and is fluent in Russian and English. Ina has 3 children, aged 4, 6, and 8, and likes to spend free time playing, going out in interesting places, and bike riding. Our next paramedic graduate is Ashley Fitzsimmons. Born and raised in Toronto, Ashley graduated from Oxford College and is honored to be working in the city that she loves. She moonlights as a bartender, where her signature cocktail is a spicy mango margarita. Her dream is to be able to save enough money to buy herself a boat and sail around the world. Our next parametric graduate is Ji Chong Han. Graduating from BizTech College, Ji Chong's original career path was in pharmacology and toxicology, as he studied this at the University of Toronto. In his fourth year, he became interested in paramedicine and decided to change dedication as he was intrigued by the profession and has worked towards graduation ever since. Our next paramedic graduate is Evan Hovey. Evan graduated from CTS Canadian Career College and previously worked as a food product developer after his degree in food services. Evan then discovered the exciting career opportunities in becoming a paramedic. Our next paramedic graduate is Mohammed Khan. A graduate of BizTech College, Mohammed holds a degree in kinesiology from the University of Western Ontario. He speaks Bengali and English, has volunteered as a big brother, and tells us that his favorite hobby is fishing. Our next paramedic graduate is Mandeep Kalati. Mandeep graduated from Humber College and volunteered on the college's emergency response team, feeding into the desire to become a paramedic. Speaking Punjabi, Hindu, and Urdu, in addition to English, Mandeep tells us that the most notable achievement in life to date is becoming a Toronto paramedic. Our next paramedic graduate is Yuri Larnov. A graduate of CTS Canadian Career College, Yuri tells us that he is fluent in Hebrew, Russian, Ukrainian, and English, and that he lived in Israel for 18 years. Yuri has a 9-year-old son and has a passion for aviation, previously studying at a flight school in Alberta. He says that he is an experimental cook, but a horrible baker. Our next paramedic graduate is Sebastian Lecomte. Sebastian graduated from Oxford College and holds a Bachelor of Science in Kinesiology from York University. As a child, he was a ballet dancer and tells us that he performed at the Four Seasons Centre in Toronto. For fun, he plays the Caribbean steel drums. Our next paramedic graduate is Laura McGovern. Graduating from CTS Canadian Career College, Laura also holds a Bachelor of Arts with Honours degree in Law and Society from York University. She also volunteers with Big Brothers and Big Sisters in Barrie. Our next paramedic graduate is Genesis Nick Dale. Genesis is a graduate of Oxford College and hails from the Philippines. Genesis holds a Bachelor of Science degree in Medical Laboratory Science and loves singing and traveling and eating rice. Our next paramedic graduate is Daniel Fluga. A graduate of Georgian College, Daniel immigrated from Australia 5 years ago. He initially worked in IT, then became interested in becoming a paramedic. Our next paramedic graduate is Abby Raymond. Abby graduated from Conestoga College and tells us she went straight from high school into college. She loves dogs and tells us that she has played basketball for 8 years. Okay, you're gonna have to bear with me with this one because I'm gonna apologize in advance. I practiced. Our next paramedic graduate is Artikash Shanmugahanavan. Good? Graduating from Centennial College, Artikash isn't finished with his studies as he is working towards a Bachelor of Science from the University of Toronto. Artikash is fluent in Tamil. Our next paramedic graduate is Larry Sheck. A graduate of Centennial College, Larry was born and raised in Hong Kong and is fluent in Cantonese, Mandarin, and English. Our next paramedic graduate is Frank Zhao. Frank is a graduate of Oxford College and tells us he entered this career because he enjoys helping people. Outside of paramedic, he enjoys camping, canoeing, and cooking. The Central Ambulance Communications Center has had a number of training sessions conducted, hiring new call takers and emergency medical dispatchers since 2020 and throughout the COVID-19 pandemic. Of course, due to the pandemic, we have not been able to recognize and celebrate these key personnel in the chain of emergency medical response, as they are first point of contact within paramedic services when you call 911. Our call takers and emergency medical dispatchers, just like our paramedics, have continued to serve the citizens and visitors of our great city throughout 2020, 2021, and most of 2022. Without an opportunity for a graduation, additionally, all of these staff work rotating shift, swinging from day shifts to night shifts, 24 hours a day, every day of the year. And whilst we have a small presence here today to be recognized, we have an outstanding group of call takers and emergency medical dispatchers who have joined our ranks since 2020. You will find their names listed in your program. Our first emergency medical dispatcher graduate is Kia Bailey. Graduating from Humber College Emergency Technical Communications Program, Kia has followed in her sister's footsteps. Natalie Silvera, an emergency medical dispatcher. Kia has been recognized at the Toronto Maple Leafs as First Responder Recognition Night and is the recipient of 2 Stork Awards for assisting in the delivery of a baby boy and baby girl, both in the same month. Kia is also fluent in French. Our next call taker graduate is Sabrina Budlansky. Sabrina volunteers at a distress center in Peel Region as a mentor. And last but certainly not least, another call taker graduate is Bianca Jang. Bianca is a registered nurse, recently graduating from her nursing program. Thank you, Chief Raftis. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the awarding of graduation certificates to the graduates of the Paramedic, Call Taking, and Emergency Dispatcher Orientation programs. Please join me once again in congratulating them. I would now ask that Superintendents Carol Jenkins and Ben Wadowski from the Paramedic Services Education and Development Team to please come forward and join Chief Raftis for the presentation of the Joe Fox Award.
Thank you. The Joe Fox Award is presented in memory of paramedic recruit Joe Fox, who tragically died in a motor vehicle collision shortly after graduation.
This award is presented to the graduate of Toronto Paramedic Services Orientation who is recognized for their leadership, professionalism, skill, and enthusiasm. This graduating class recipient is, congratulations to paramedic Robin De Los Santos. Coming up, Robin.
Congratulations, Paramedic De Los Santos, and all of our graduates. I would now ask Deputy City Manager Paul Johnson to please bring some greetings.
Well, good afternoon, everyone, and especially good afternoon to the graduates. Congratulations. I am going to just take a little bit of a detour for a second because as my colleagues at the City of Toronto are learning, I referee basketball when I'm not working. And to step onto a gym floor, have stands full of people who clap for me as a referee is something I've not experienced before. So I'm just going to pause for a moment, let that wash in, and invite you all to come to all of my games where I'm refereeing and bring that enthusiasm with you. Yeah, there we go. And I'm told in 15 minutes the pickup game begins, so we can get going. But in all seriousness, this is a great honor to be here today, to be part of this celebration on behalf of the City of Toronto and the great work that happens in our Toronto Paramedic Services. To the graduates, thank you. Thank you for choosing public service. Thank you for choosing the City of Toronto. And to your family, friends, and support networks, thank you for supporting them to make that choice. We need you here at the City of Toronto. We are an amazing city of 3 million people, but we're a city that, of course, has its challenges from time to time, and those who call Toronto home need help from time to time. And some will need your help. They'll need your calm and reassuring voice on the other end of the phone when they call in the midst of panic, fear, and the unknown. And to our call takers, and our emergency medical dispatchers. The importance that you play cannot be underscored enough in the whole system of our emergency response. And then there's our paramedics who will arrive, not only provide care, as you've heard, at a level that is unparalleled in the history of paramedicine, but you'll provide it in a way that calms not only the patient that we are caring for, but those who are around them. The people of Toronto are thankful every day that they can count on you. And as an administrator at the City of Toronto, I couldn't be prouder to welcome you in to the broad family of our public service here in Toronto, and in particular, the Toronto Paramedic Services. Now, listening to the stories and hearing from the leadership of Toronto Paramedics about your backgrounds and what you do, and then hearing some of the things you do outside of work, signature cocktails, playing the steel drum, all things that I think have me wondering a bit what I did with my life, because you are very accomplished as you stand here today ready to take this next step in your career. And we welcome that, because I've always found that when people are skilled in a variety of things, be it your educational background, be it your pursuits in a volunteer capacity, and be it those things that just keep you feeling grounded after a long day of work, when we have a well-rounded workforce, we have a better workforce. So thanks for that. To our union partners who are here, thank you for your continuing commitment to work in partnership with the City of Toronto to support those who each and every day deliver the services that those who call Toronto home need and deserve. The last thing I'll say about you as a group is you continue our commitment to diversity here at the City of Toronto. Listening to the languages that are spoken outside of English and seeing the faces as they came up one by one to receive your graduation certificate and be honored by those in attendance. Remind us all that we need to reflect the community we serve. And thank you for being here as part of that reflection. You're going to be tested each and every day. You're going to have some days that will be tough. You'll have some days when you go home and you wonder why you chose the pursuit that you chose. I just want you to know that we are all here to support you. You know, you may not know what a deputy city manager does, and don't worry, my family and friends don't really know what I do either. But I'll say this to you and make it very simple. I see my job as supporting the chief and his leadership team each and every day to make sure that you have the tools and the training and the support to be as successful as you can be in your pursuit, and to ensure that you are always at peak performance for those who rely on you each and every day. I'll be there for you, the chief will be there for you, and all of your colleagues in Toronto Paramedic Services will be there for you as well. Congratulations, enjoy the celebration, smile a bit, it's okay. And I look forward to seeing you on the streets of Toronto in the near future. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Deputy City Manager Johnson. I would now invite Paramedic Services Chief Raftis to come forward to deliver a few words.
Thank you, Janice. Thank you, Rick. So, good afternoon and welcome. It's just fantastic to be here in person with everyone. We took a bit of a hiatus from these graduations, and not only do we have emergency medical dispatchers that we have not been able to celebrate their graduations, but we have a whole bunch of paramedics as well that we're going to figure out how we celebrate and recognize them as well, as they've come on in the last couple of years during COVID. And really, it's a heartfelt welcome to our family, our friends, and certainly all of my paramedic and leadership colleagues that are here with us today. Thank you to the organizers of the event. It takes a lot of work to put these events on, and there's a whole bunch of people in the background, and we really appreciate those efforts. And of course, we're here at Denison Armory, so we do need to recognize our colleagues in the armed forces who really allow us to use their facilities, and they're great partners for us to work with each and every day. And of course, to our colleagues at the base hospital, our union leaders, our leaders coming from all of the other emergency services, and everyone here today, all of our special guests. Really appreciate you being here to celebrate and welcome our paramedics and emergency medical dispatchers. It really is the quality of our people that allows us and the city to enjoy the best emergency services really in any community around the world. Of course, Mayor Tory is with us for most of these graduations, and he was unable to make it here today. But we talk regularly about his support for our paramedics, for our emergency medical dispatchers and call takers, and certainly for our colleagues within the other emergency services. So he and City Council really support Toronto Paramedic Services and our people. And now to our graduates. It's fantastic to see you here. We talked this morning about the future, the opportunities that are going to be in front of you, and the work that you're going to be doing in the coming days, and how exciting that is. You've committed to a life of service to others. This requires compassion, courage, and of course, dedication. And I can tell you, and I know my colleagues here today would agree with this, that really there is no greater calling. We welcome you to our incredible organization and congratulate you on your success to date. And our Deputy City Manager, Paul Johnson, talked about your varied backgrounds, education, experiences. It's tremendous to hear and to see that. Our service is one where you can be assured of the latest evidence-based practices and technology that will be used to assist you in your support, whether it's helping callers on 911 lines or treating your patients out in the field. Whether you're embedded in the communication center or providing direct care in the field, you've chosen an exciting, profoundly rewarding, and sometimes challenging career that will bring with it the respect and support from your patients, their families, the public, your peers, and your leadership team. Every time we are able to welcome new recruits to our service, I reflect back to those early years and the days when I was treating patients in the field myself. And it reminded me that those really were some of the best days in my career. We pursue these careers because we want to help others through their darkest and sometimes most intimate moments. And we heard those comments as people described who they were. They were here to help others. And really, you should be so proud of yourselves for that. No matter what your role, whether it's a calming voice or the hands providing care out in the field, it is an honor and a privilege to be part of this and to make a real and tangible difference in the lives of your patients and their families. Remember that. Your days may be long and sometimes very difficult, but the feelings of gratitude that your patients and their loved ones will show you will often make up for those heavy days or heavy moments. Please remember that you will always be supported by your peers and your leadership team. Watch out for each other. There are many supports available to you. Please feel free and comfortable to use those supports to keep yourself healthy and well throughout the years. And as your career progresses, remember why you chose this honorable profession. Remember that every time you pick up the phone, you dispatch a paramedic crew, enter someone's home, or help someone in need, it is an opportunity to make a lifelong impact on that person and their loved ones. And this is something we don't think about, but you will not remember most of your callers or most of the patients and their families that you interact with. But I'm telling you straight up, every single one of them will remember you for the rest of their life. You have a chance to make a real difference in people's lives, and very few professions provide this opportunity. It is a gift. It's a gift to serve, to care for, and to comfort people. Dr. Martin Luther King said, "Everyone can be great because anyone can serve. You only need a heart full of grace and a soul generated by love." You have these qualities, and I know you will carry out your service to others with professionalism, knowing that you represent our service, a service that has the trust and confidence of the City of Toronto and a service that I'm so proud to lead with my colleagues. As I wrap up today, and Paul Johnson mentioned this, we really want to talk a little bit about our families. So you are so proud of your paramedics and your emergency medical dispatchers and call takers, but I can tell you that they are exceptionally proud of you and equally proud of you, and maybe you don't hear that. So on behalf of them, I just want to let you know how important your role is, taking care of your people to get here today, and in the future, as they're serving others, they're going to need you. So we thank you for your commitment to them. We thank you for that support. It is very much appreciated and very much needed. So thank you everyone for joining us today. Congratulations to our graduates, and we wish you all the very best and success in your future careers. Welcome to Toronto Paramedic Services. Welcome to our family. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chief Raftis. This has been a wonderful afternoon recognizing so many of our friends, colleagues, and loved ones. I hope you have enjoyed this ceremony as much as I have, and congratulations to everyone. I think it is important to note the recognition that you, our graduates, receive today is likely one that is shared with your loved ones who have taken the time to be with you here today. I have no doubt they have missed you on many occasions, such as birthdays, anniversaries, holidays, children's school events, or many of the numerous other special occasions they have celebrated, but unfortunately, you have had to miss due to being on shift. Today's graduation ceremony recognition may have your name on it, but always remember that it is shared by these special people in your life. Those wearing headdress, please place it back on. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the performance of the National Anthem by Ceremonial Guard Deputy Commander Leo Leach.
Ladies and gentlemen, please sing along with me. Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Thank you, Deputy Commander Leach. Please remain standing for the departure of our platform party. This concludes today's graduation ceremony for Toronto Paramedic Services. I would like to thank you for attending today. I will ask that the audience remains in their seats and while that all of the graduates make their way to the center stage for a group photo. Immediately following this photo, on behalf of Chief Raftis, I invite everybody to please join us for light refreshments on the north side of the drill hall. Thank you, stay safe, and have unenjoyable rest of your day.